do not only look at cost in a specific period, but cost for the whole life cycle of a product. And not only cost, but also revenues. And when is life cycle costing particularly important? When you have a lot of non-production costs. For example, research and development and design cost before you start actually production. If you do that properly, of course, you need to take into consideration the time value of money. It makes a difference whether you spend money today or whether you spend it in 10 years. So keep in mind that we need to use a discount factor for life cycle costing. And life cycle costing, by the way, is exactly an exercise what you could use in conjunction with target costing. Because again, target costing is particularly important when you introduce a product. So relevant costs for target costing are the cost over the life cycle, and this makes it an instrument which supports target costing. But again, you will get a much more comprehensive and detailed presentation about a very closely related issue, which is total cost of ownership, and then we'll see how it works. We are approaching our next topic. The next topic is customer profitability analysis. The question is, when do we need customer profitability analysis, and which companies do need customer profitability analysis? If you had a supermarket, Marco, do you need customer profitability analysis?
I didn't know, because, for example, I worked in customer profitability department.
Ah, you did?
Yeah, in Coca-Cola company. And
Super.
they have customer profitability department, but for key accounts.
For key
accounts.
For key accounts.
Yeah.
Ah, very interesting. And what?
So, for example, they prepare P&L, prepare customers.
Yeah, exactly. So, and for what reasons do they do that?
To measure, specific the profitability per key account.
But maybe the intention is to decide if to continue the relationship with the customer or not.
Sure, yes.
Maybe make a differentiation between A, B, and C customers?
So, yeah, okay. Obviously, when you have different types of customers, which are of different value for a customer, for a company. So a supermarket does not differentiate so much between you and me. They say, I don't care. But maybe you were working for what company?
Coca-Cola HBC.
Coca-Cola?
Coca-Cola.
And what were customers of Coca-Cola?
Supermarket.
Supermarkets. And why did you do that customer profitability analysis?
So, I think the idea, because they give maybe discounts.
So,
okay. The idea to have a detailed measurement of P&L. So yeah.
So different prices is one issue when customer profitability analysis makes sense. So the question is whether to use discounts for specific customers. There is another case when we should look at customer profitability. Different discounts, yes, but what else? Yes, please, Max.
Maybe in terms of like different pricing for different customers.
This is discounting.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah. But if you have a price on the one hand, or revenues on the one hand, right.
Then we must have costs on the other hand.
We must have costs on the other hand. And when costs for all customers are the same, customer profitability analysis might not as important, but if costs differ. So if costs for different customers differ, or if revenues, prices for different customers differ, then customer profitability analysis is an important exercise. You see, customer profitability has been selected as one of the key issues in a company, apart from growth, quality, and cost management. And again, customer profitability sometimes is one aspect of a greater picture, which is to measure customer value. When it comes to customer value, apart from customer profitability analysis, some more factors are relevant, like customer retention. So how likely is it that a customer comes again and again and again? How likely is it that the sales volume for the customer is going to grow, and maybe having some very well-known customers who attract even more customers, maybe they expect a special treatment and so on. So even the fact that sometimes from companies can learn, because they learn about customer behavior, they learn about customer preferences, and they might learn how to optimally present products to customers. So revenues can differ when you do discounting. Different prices to different customers, which you all know. You get discounts, particularly if you buy big quantities, or if you are a long-term customer for any companies, you get discounts. And when you get discounts, of course, the question is, does it make sense to provide discounts, or how big could that discount be? These are questions related to customer profitability analysis. Regarding the presentation, there is two ways. You can show revenues net, and you can show gross revenue minus the discount. And of course, the gross presentation gives maybe the better analysis, because then you have an overview about both pieces, gross revenues and discounts, and not only the net. When it comes to customer profitability and when it comes to different costs, activity-based costing can help. And when you remember activity-based costing, we had different cost hierarchies. So also regarding customer profitability, different cost hierarchies play a role. For example, you have one kind of cost which is clearly output related. So this is costs that depend on a unit of production, and this is called customer output unit level cost. For example, product handling in our case afterwards is a typical example for customer output unit level cost. Then you have customer batch level cost. This is a quantity issue, because sometimes when it comes, for example, to order taking, costs remain the same whether an order comprises 10 units or an order comprises 100 units. So this is the same as batch level cost related to activity-based costing. Here it's called customer batch level cost. And then, like product sustaining cost in ABC, we have customer sustaining cost regarding customer profitability analysis. Customer sustaining costs are those which are directly related to specific customers. For example, customer visits. For example, specific events where some customers. Cost of those activities are customer sustaining cost. And another issue, what could be quite interesting, is the differentiation between distribution channels. So there are companies, if you think about Metro, a big merchandise company in Germany, they sell about nearly everything. It's a big supermarket, primarily for wholesale, but they also have a retail possibility. So the question is, where do they earn more? And they have different prices for wholesale and retail. And the question is, what is better for them, or what should be more supported, retail or wholesale? This is regarding distribution channels. Or other companies might have live shops in a city, but also online shops. So the question is whether the distribution channel online business is better than the shop in the city. And same as activity-based costing, corporate sustaining cost, all the costs which cannot be directly traced to specific customers, they are in the remaining pool called corporate sustaining cost. This sounds a little bit theoretical. This is why I have prepared an example for you. And of course, guess what you are doing right now? Doing that customer profitability analysis based on a merchandise company for water, spring water. They purchase the water for 50 cents a bottle, and they have 4 customers. Different quantities sold for the customer. Look at that, they have a normal selling price, which is 60 cents. So the gross margin initially is 10 cents per bottle, but actual selling price differs because they give discounts. But also cost drivers are different. So regarding purchase orders, customer A requires 30 for the 1 million bottles sold. And here you have the cost drivers rate for purchase orders. And you have the cost drivers for all the other activities. And so the task for you now is to calculate the profit for these customers. I have provided you an Excel sheet on Moodle. It's under the section of last week's lecture called target costing. And under target costing on the second page, you'll find customer profitability analysis. If you do not have this on hand, you can do that also based on your calculator, but it's easier to do it on the prepared spreadsheet. So you have that spreadsheet, what is on Moodle. And if you use it, so your task is now for 15 minutes to calculate customer profitability for the 4 different customers. Any questions? Unclear, or can you follow? Yes?